Pittsburgh Steelers first-round pick Derek Harmon looked impressive in the team's second preseason game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and legendary Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger believes the rookie is going to be a special player for the team. "Man, Derek Harmon is going to be an animal," Roethlisberger said on the latest episode of Footballin'. "Love to see it. Love to see him just basically manhandle people. He just takes control of the line. He takes control of his guy, and he is going to get so much better the more he learns about the little nuances of the game, little techniques, little trick things." Harmon showcased an excellent bull rush to land his first professional sack, even if it will not count officially in the stat books come regular season. That came after Harmon made a great run stick the play before. The rookie, who failed to record a stat last week in his NFL debut across 33 snaps, made sure to show out in his second game and only played into the second quarter. In Indianapolis, Harmon stood at 6'4", weighing in at 313 pounds. Harmon ran a 4.95 40-yard dash with a 1.74 10-yard split, both great numbers for his size. One NFL scout told NFL.com's Lance Zierlein that Harmon reminds me a lot of Hayward. "He plays like a Raven or a Steeler. Off the tape, he reminds me of a young Cam Hayward but bigger," the scout told Zierlein. Despite their regular season success in recent years, the Pittsburgh Steelers are tired of falling short. They want to compete for a championship in 2025-26, which is why they went out and signed Aaron Rodgers as an upgrade at quarterback. Just about everyone assumed this would be Rodgers' final season, and he led folks to believe the same thing. Is there a possibility that he returns for a second year in Pittsburgh, though? He briefly addressed that again before his debut campaign even begins. Aaron Rodgers, leaving door open for Steelers' return in 2026. On an episode of Not Just Football with Steelers teammate Cameron Hayward, Rodgers was pressed by wideout DK Metcalf about coming back beyond the season. "I think a lot of people may be looking at us like, what are they going to do? It's a big question mark," Metcalf said. "They can just wait and see what we do. I think we're going to do some special things this year. Looking forward to it, and maybe we can run it back." His one-word response didn't do anything to shut the door on that prospect. "Maybe," Rodgers said with a smile. This is a contrast from Rodgers' June comments on The Pat McAfee Show about this tracking to be his swan song in the NFL. "I'm pretty sure this is it," Rodgers said. "That's why we just did a one-year deal. Steelers didn't need to put in extra years on that, or anything. So, this was really about finishing with a lot of love and fun and peace for the career that I've had. I've played 20 freaking years. Like, it's been a long run. I've enjoyed it, and what better place to finish than with one of the cornerstone franchises of the NFL with Mike Tomlin and a great group of leadership and great guys in a city that, expects you to win." Although he's no longer an MVP-level player, there's no denying that Rodgers can still sling the rock. Amid plenty of dysfunction with the New York Jets last year, he threw 28 touchdowns. Even a diminished version of him is an improvement over what the Steelers have had. Only time will tell whether Pittsburgh gets to benefit from his play for longer than 1 year. Pittsburgh should plan to not have Rodgers either way. It's this writer's take that, either way, the Steelers should plan to not have Rodgers on the roster next season. First and foremost, his comments on McAfee are far more telling than a tongue-in-cheek, maybe on a podcast. The environments are different, and he put much more thought into the former sequence than the latter. There are very few outcomes that foster the need for a redo. Should everything pan out perfectly and Pittsburgh wins the Super Bowl, that'd be a storybook ending for one of football's best careers for a quarterback. Should the team suffer another heartbreaking exit early in the postseason, why not cut everything loose and restock with a young signal caller? The 2026 NFL Draft provides plenty of intriguing potential options to choose from. With Rodgers on a one-year deal, this is shaping up for him to ride off into the sunset. But if there's one thing he's taught the football world over the years, it's that you can't predict his next move. The Pittsburgh Steelers have a decision to make at quarterback before the start of the 2025 NFL season. The team currently has Skylar Thompson and rookie Will Howard competing for the third-string role, but one of the two will more than likely end up being cut or traded before Week 1, with both having a chance at also making the practice squad. Aaron Rodgers will be the Steelers' starting quarterback in Week 1. Entering his 21st NFL season, the veteran quarterback is a four-time MVP and future Hall of Famer that will likely retire at the conclusion of this season. Many have continued to ask what the Steelers' plan at quarterback could be like after Rodgers, as former NFL defensive end Chris Canty took a moment to share his opinion on what Pittsburgh could potentially do at the position. Canty claims that the Steelers should look into acquiring Anthony Richardson from the Indianapolis Colts in exchange of a late-round draft pick. "I like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Trade a draft pick for him, stash him, see what ends up happening," Canty stated. "He can be a part of your quarterback room going forward." Canty then went on to say he believes Richardson could be a great short-term solution at the position after Rodgers' retirement. "Now, do I think he's going to be their franchise guy? No, I don't," Canty continued. "But he can be a bridge to whatever is next for the Steelers after Aaron Rodgers." Richardson was one of the most talked-about quarterback prospects from the 2023 NFL Draft. The rising star has struggled during his 2 seasons in the NFL, with injuries continuing to hold the former Florida Gators star back year after year. Richardson was an elite player on the college level, and many felt as if he would be among the top quarterbacks in the NFL by now. Richardson will enter 2025 as the Colts' backup quarterback behind Daniel Jones. Richardson is still just 23 years old and may just need a change of scenery to get him back on track. The former Gator may truly benefit from a trade to the Steelers as well, as the struggling young quarterback would be learning from and playing behind one of the greatest to ever do it in Rodgers. Steelers' Skylar Thompson has an uncertain future in Pittsburgh. Thompson has been one of the most successful quarterbacks in the NFL throughout the 2025 preseason. He has certainly played his part when called upon, as the former Miami Dolphins signal caller has shined throughout the preseason and has taken full advantage of the uptick in playing time due to Howard's injury. Thompson has emerged as the odd man out in the Steelers' quarterback room, despite multiple promising performances, as he will almost certainly land a job with another team should the young quarterback be cut. Steelers' Skylar Thompson looks to pass during the first week of preseason in 2025 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Thompson had 152 yards and 1 touchdown in the Steelers' final preseason game against the Carolina Panthers. Howard, however, will likely begin the season as the third quarterback on the depth chart if he is fully healthy by week 1. He's still recovering from a broken hand in training camp. Richardson's future in Indianapolis continues to look more and more uncertain as time goes on. The promising quarterback could be an excellent addition if he turns into the player he was supposed to be. At just 23 years old, a trade to the Steelers could be exactly what Richardson needs to turn his career around. For the Steelers, with questions still surrounding Rodgers, Howard, and Thompson, Richardson could be the surprising answer for the franchise. Do you think the Steelers should look into trading for Anthony Richardson?